Hey everybody, it's Missy Wolf, and we're back at CRS with one of my favorite people ever on the face of the planet, TG Sheppard. How are you?
Missy, I'm fine. How you? It's been a while since I've seen you, but I see you everywhere on social media.
I know. I like following you and Kelly too, but I have to tell you, and I don't think I did it that day, but you called me one day thinking I was a different Missy. Your
yes,
phone just
I did.
automatically
I
called
was
me.
I thought you were Missy with Selecto Hits, who distributes our music.
But this was a God moment because I was having a horrible day.
Really?
Oh, it was I was like having a horrible emotional day, and you called me, and I immediately lit up.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, God knew I needed that call from TG, and I was laughing and happy, and I was able to get through the rest of my day.
Well,
so
you're
thank
very
you.
kind.
Well,
I'm glad I could help you out that day.
Absolutely, you did. You did.
Yeah.
And anytime I actually need any help, I can just put on one of your songs, and I'm totally good to go.
Gosh. I won't be able to get out of here with my head so big.
No. And we were just watching videos of Kelly like early on, and she had the cutest little like yellow top on.
That was on Music City tonight when she was like 23 or 24 years old.
Tommy was showing me, and I was like, look at her. I love her so much.
Kelly has been around. Yeah. She's paid dues for a long time, over 30 years. You know,
it was just I had not seen her in that video before. I had not seen that performance, and I was just blown away.
She was a spunky little thing, wasn't she? I'm telling you, she was full of energy.
She's sassy.
She's still that way.
Yep, definitely. And you have some music stuff that you've got going on with Sirius XM, a show. Tell me about that.
You know, I signed a contract with Sirius XM this past year. And we started the TG Sheppard show on the Elvis channel, which is channel 19 on Elvis Radio.
Yes,
and
we have
it comes live from Graceland every Friday from 2 to 5 Central. And it has just been a heck of a ride so far. It's, you know, I didn't realize what radio would do to your booking schedule, and it has just filled it up.
Right.
And I've been fortunate to have a lot of great artists on the show. Like for this week, tomorrow's show is Kid Rock and Charlie Daniels.
No.
I'm
kind of jealous. I'm really jealous.
Last
honestly.
week was Dolly Parton and Olivia Newton-John, and next week is Barry Gibb and Lionel Richie. So my friends have really come to help me on the show, and it's really helped a lot. I'm having a blast doing it.
Oh my gosh, that is so much fun. Were you nervous at all getting started, like hosting a radio show, figuring out what you were going to say, how you were going to go about it?
Well, not really, because, you know, I'm into my 43rd year this year, and through that time you do a lot of radio and hosting of different types of shows. And basically, all you have to do when you're hosting anything is be authentic.
Right.
And be real. And it's okay to mess up or make a mistake or say something wrong.
Yeah.
So I've never tried to be just perfect. I've just tried to be me. And I think the people hopefully are sensing that in the show.
You know what? I think fans respond much better to that rather than something that's edited to look perfect.
Right.
Like we all make mistakes.
Well, I'm having a ball doing it. I get a chance to meet a lot of people that maybe I didn't know.
Right.
But basically, it's just getting a chance to visit with my friends that I've known for 20 and 30 years.
What's your favorite thing to talk about when you're with your friends and you're there at Graceland?
I always try to find out if they've ever been to Graceland.
Okay.
Because I get a kick out of hearing what their first thoughts were when they walked through the door.
Right.
And most people will say, I was really surprised that there was shag carpet on the walls and it was the furniture. I said, for God's sakes, it was frozen in time since 74. So in 74, that was the style. I always enjoy asking people one question in the interviews that is pretty deep, that they don't expect.
Right.
And I remember when I was doing the Lionel Richie interview that will air next week, all of a sudden I said, Lionel, before you became a singer, I understand that you were on your way to the seminary to be a preacher. And he said, yeah, and then that went into a deep spiritual type of part of the interview that people had never seen that side of him before. Right. And so I always try to do that in the interviews, just pick one little question that will kind of make people think and maybe go deeper into the conversation.
And see, that's what I try to do too. And sometimes I have to be careful because I can't even tell you how many times I have made people like burst into tears on this.
Oh, I know.
And it's just, I mean, I feel bad because I don't want them to cry, but at the same time, I want people to get to know them.
But see, that's real.
Yes.
That's real emotion, and people want that. They don't want to hear somebody slick or see somebody slick. They want real emotion.
Exactly. And that's why, like, God love all my PR people because I love every one of them, and they always come with talking points.
Yeah, sure.
And I think that's great because there's a lot of people, unfortunately, who don't study their artists before they are going to go into an interview.
You know, it's all in preparing beforehand because you really have to be on your mark.
Yes.
You have to have enough bullet points that if you are running out of time, you got another question and another question.
Right.
And you don't want to just ask the normal questions. Cookie cutter questions.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun so far, and I'm still having a blast doing it.
So are you having more fun being the interviewer or the interviewee?
The interviewer, because I have more control of the conversation.
Yes.
Okay. And I know when I did Olivia Newton-John, I got a chance to go pretty deep about cancer and things like that has really affected her. And for those of you who are watching, she's doing incredible.
Yes.
Living with stage 4. And actually, she is regressing now. Everything is shrinking.
Good.
And it's a lot of it's up here.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And she lives large. She lives life so big. Yeah. And we love her. She's like a sister to Kelly. Yeah. You know, my wife Kelly. And
I know that whenever you guys are posting pictures together and stuff, they're just genuinely happy photos. Like you could just see the love in every one of them.
I got tickled at Kelly because we went down to Florida last month. Olivia invited Kelly down to meet John Travolta because they were doing a Grease reunion.
Yes.
And we went down and spent 2 days with John and Olivia. One of the nicest guys I have ever met in my life. No ego, zero ego. So it's a lot of fun to be able to hang out with friends and then meet new friends along the way.
Absolutely. And isn't it crazy the following that Grease has to this day? And all the younger kids. I mean, that movie came out a long time ago. I was a kid.
There were thousands of people at this event that we went to in West Palm Beach. But the fun time, though, with me was having one-on-one time at a private dinner with Olivia and John. And getting a chance to talk with John about the Urban Cowboy days. And, of course, he's a huge fan of country music because of that. Yeah. And we talked about Mickey Gilley and Johnny Lee and all the people that were involved in Urban Cowboy. Matter of fact, I'm even out now doing some dates with Mickey Gilley. And, wow, the crowds are just enormous.
Yes.
People are thirsting for that era of music again.
So when can we expect a collaboration between like you and Kelly and Olivia and maybe even John? Like that would be so much fun.
Well, I invited John to come the next time I play the Opry.
Okay.
He's never been.
Oh.
And I said, I want you to walk out on the Opry stage and let me introduce you and hear how much people love what you did for country music in the Urban Cowboy craze. And so he said, sure. And I said, and while you're in Nashville, you need to do a country album. Put the cowboy hat back on.
Yes.
And become Bud again and just do it.
Oh,
he said, you think I could? And I said, yeah, you could.
Of course he could. He could do anything.
Yeah. So it's hopefully I can get him back up here.
If he could play a woman in Hairspray.
Wasn't that funny? Oh gosh.
It was my favorite. I'm not going to lie. I loved it. I loved every bit of it, and I love singing his parts when that show was on.
Well, he's very serious about his craft.
Yeah,
I mean, he really he really does his homework. He really studies hard before he shoots a movie. But we had a chance to talk. I asked him what his favorite country song was. He says, "Looking for Love, Johnny Lee." Well, that was a huge hit out of the movie. So he's a great guy.
I love that. Well, where can fans find you to get more of your amazing songs and stories? And
you keep up with our tour schedule and any news and things that we're doing at tgsheppard.com. But you can go for music. You can go anywhere music is downloaded or streamed. iTunes, Amazon, you name it, Spotify. You can go anywhere and get our music. And I am overwhelmed at the response to my first country solo album in 22 years that was released just a few months ago, called Midnight in Memphis, which Barry Gibb wrote the title cut.
Right.
Midnight in Memphis. So it's been overwhelming to be able to have new music out there after all these years and be able to do some of the new music in concert. A lot of fun now.
I love it. I love it so much. And you guys tune in to Sirius XM,
Channel 19, Elvis Radio, live from Graceland, every Friday from 2 to 6 Central. And then it replays again on Monday nights from 7 to 10.
All right, guys. Well, you heard him, so check him out. You don't want to miss a thing. He's got great stuff coming up. Until next time, guys. We'll see you soon.